So hello again everybody. Like many times before, a new day, a new project full of sunshine outside. You'll be surprised, but I have these two old batteries. They are just laying behind the porch for, I don't know, 1 year or something. So they are pretty wasted, bad shape batteries, but I still want to do an experiment. Well, I have up on the roof a 100 watts solar panel, and this is the connection straight to the panel. There is no charge controller involved here. So what I want to do is to see if we really need a charge controller. I'm really curious to see if this 100 watts panel can overcharge or even how can I say, boil the batteries. And first of all, I'm gonna make a connection between these two, plus and minus, put them in parallel. I have to check the internal resistance first with a special apparatus who's doing this in a very proper way, and eventually to connect the charger to the batteries. And in the same time there will be no load on the batteries, just a small camera to have a proper lapse photo, because I'm gonna have a device like this, to control the amount of energy transferred to the batteries. Eventually, after days and days, I'm not sure how long it's gonna take, I want to test if this 100 watts solar panel can charge a battery enough to supply energy for my solar lights, for my night lights here under that roof. I have a bunch of LED strips around 20 watts. I'm pretty sure that takes like maybe, let's say 250 watts per night. But we'll see that after the batteries are charged. I'm really curious because the main goal of this experiment is to see if we can use the cheapest panel possible and the cheapest batteries possible. These are wasted batteries, by the way. Finally, to have a count about money and about rendezvous and all the other stuffs. This will be the most cheapest, simplest solar installation ever. No charge control, nothing at all. Just a 100 watts panel. That's not supplying 100 watts anyway. That's a theoretical. Anyway, that panel was do-it-yourself. I did it a few years ago. You have some stories about that up there. Just push the button. These night lights I'm telling you about, they are connected to you see here, they are connected to a photo transistor and everything related to a dusk to dawn sensor. So they are working only in the night, and this is nice because I don't need any kind of other installation. Just a solar panel, two bad old batteries, and the light stripes. Okay, I'm gonna start with checking the internal resistance and the voltages of these two batteries. It's crazy. This is crazy. So it's saying 37 ohms and 10.75 volts. And now let me have battery number 2. A little bit better. Okay, 16 ohms and 11 volts. But let me have an idea, and let me check this for water. We can fill it up. I think it's okay. This one is okay. The number 2 it's okay. Number 3 it's okay. 4 okay. I think the last one is a little bit dry. we can add some water. So never use pure water, just distilled water. It's not working with pure water because of the minerals inside there. Anyway, I have to fill it up. While I pour some extra outside, this is good because I have to clean it anyway. There's a lot of water missing there. Let's check the internal resistance again. Let me clean a little bit the contacts here. This is a special measuring instrument. It's working with 4 sensors, and it's applying a high frequency current to the batteries, and it's not only checking the voltage, but it's checking the internal resistance. That's 26.6. Okay, so I'm gonna parallel both of them. So the cells are filled up now. The internal resistance went down to 26 ohms. Anyway, it's way too much. We can do another experiment. I want to check the voltages inside the cells, and that's a very simple way to do that. You need a piece of wire, you need a multimeter on volts, let's say 2 volts, the minus here, and we'll take the voltage inside the cells, each of them. Okay, number 1, let's say, it's really wasted, not even 0.6. If I go down farther, no way. Okay, I think this one, I think the first cell, it's pretty wasted. Cell number 2, it's more than 2 volts. Okay, this is good. 240, oh, 235, 231, 226, 202, 198, 2. So this is the single problem. This cell here, let's call it number 1. It's way under voltage. Oh, but if I push it down a little bit, look there, 190. This is strange. Maybe it's not enough acid, or maybe it's not enough charge. But anyway, that doesn't really matter because we're gonna start the experiment anyway. Okay, everything is set. The batteries are tied together, and we have this power meter in the input circuit, I may say. So we're gonna have a clear idea about how much watts or amps are getting into this two batteries. So I think this one is 61 amps and the other one is 50 amps, and let's say we need at least 110 amps to a full charge. I'm not sure if these batteries will take this power, but before anything else, what I want to do is let me check the panel. So it's full sunshine, open circuit, we should have around 20 volts. There we are, 19.13. This panel, it's homemade, like I told you. It's made in between two pieces of glass, and it's pretty thick glass, I may say, strong glass, and I think it's a matter of temperature, but it never went up than 20 volts. That doesn't really matter. It's not the voltage important here. In the meantime, I can do a short test, and we can see how much amps do we have from the panel. You don't have to be worried, because if you short the panel, consider the panel a power generator. It's not a power accumulator, if I may say. So the energy from the panel is generating instantly. It's nothing there to burst. You can securely have short test. How I did that? Just put the multimeter on amps. Mine is on 20 amps here. 4.36 amps. We can start the test. Of course, I'm gonna have another camera for lapse photo about powers and currents and everything else here. Let's connect the plus here, okay, and we have the minus through the amp meter. There we go. 18 volts, 18 volts already. So the batteries are only taking 850 milliamps, 16 watts, but is growing. You see the external resistance, I mean the battery resistance is going down slowly. So it's only 2 minutes on and we already have the current, the charging current jumping up to almost 2 amps, and that means that the batteries are taking current. You see even the resistance went down to 8.2 and it's only 3 minutes. Let's wait for the results. Just a short update. As you may see, we already have 2 hours and 18 minutes and the charging is going strong. It's 3.6 amps. We already put in 8.68 amps into the battery, 47 watts, 100 and almost 18 watts hour in the batteries. Oh, it's looking good for now. So the lapse camera, it's on roll now. So I'm gonna have a 10 seconds photo and we'll follow the charging and the discharging of the batteries for a couple of days. Okay, this was the first step of the experiment. Now we have to wait to see how long it takes and how much energy do we need to put in, and if there is any problem, by the way, without having a proper solar charger. Like I told you before, this is a direct panel to batteries charging. See you in part 2 with the results.